This is a One Play Wednesday focus on Brian Branch, who the more you watch film of him, the more you see layers of his game that are revealed in somewhat innocuous ways, particularly with the second play. I'm going to show you 3 plays here. One Play Wednesday is designed to focus on one play, obviously, but it's the range here that I think is just really striking. It's kind of like an F counter at a pistol, so unusual in the path that DeAndre Swift ends up taking here. I believe this is on the 4th possession. Branch is the backside safety, so he's the safety away from the point of attack with Swift going out in this direction. Branch makes first contact. You know, long term doesn't, if things like this occur frequently or consistently, it doesn't say great things about Detroit's defense. I don't have worry or fear that these things are in fact going to continue to occur. When I say these things, I mean the backside safety, Branch, being the first guy to make contact with a run concept to the other side. Again, you know, I don't think these things are going to continue to occur. I think this is an illustration of how talented Brian Branch is and how uncompromising he is in getting to the football. And then once he arrives, he's totally committed to the run fit, zero hesitation at all in terms of throwing his body in there, being completely 100% bought in to whatever the coaches ask him to do. He's a unique football player, if you ask me, because from a snap-by-snap basis, you can see him impact the game in radically different ways. With no force player, no edge player at all there, the backside safety getting to the football first is not the way things are designed, but I think it illustrates the range that Brian Branch has. Very next snap, that was a 1st and 10. This is a 2nd and 4. It's going to be a conversion completed up here to the tight end. I think Cole Kmet. But this is Branch matched up against DJ Moore. Moore runs this route a ton. Sometimes it'll turn into more of a corner route. And so, you know, maybe Branch is prepared for that type of release. Watch the stab that he gets. He's got heavy hands. Well, in this case, heavy hand. It's the inside hand punching Moore, really knocking him off balance, such that he's late getting into his route. Caleb Williams is looking up there. Like I said, this is completed to Cole Kmet. I think that's against Terrion Arnold, but I'm not sure. But try to focus on Branch here for a moment. I know that there's, you know, a lot of discussion about Arnold. He's supremely effective in coverage from a man-to-man standpoint. I went on a Ravens podcast, Ken from Film Study Ravens. He's been doing film study stuff for a long time, and said, hey, look, you know, Brian Branch is a guy that would start for every single team in the NFL. It's been a interesting midweek thing for me because so many Ravens content creators have asked me to come on to talk about the Lions, and a number of Lions content creators have asked me to appear and talk about the Ravens. I'll have a whole lot more to say in terms of previews and comparing some of the players and some of my own content that I'll put out, you know, Friday into Saturday to preview the game. So the last play that I'll show you here, again, it's One Play Wednesday, and I'm getting away with showing you in 3 plays. So the idea is 5 to 8 minute videos, so package them together. I've already shown this play in a Brian Branch film study video from earlier on in the week. It's a buck sweep to the boundary. I mean, it's absolutely buck sweep concept out of the gun with possibly an attached screen to the field with 2 potential lead blockers. From a Brian Branch standpoint, completely committed downhill right now to go attack. And to force the fumble here on Swift, the only way that these types of plays occur consistently, often, is if you throw 100% of your body into the play. And in fact, Branch, you can actually see it here. I didn't cover it in the film study video that I did on him. He has such force and collision here that his mouthpiece, his green mouthpiece, the one that he doesn't wear, flies up in the air and ends up being knocked off of his helmet. That's how forceful the impact was between him, his body, and Swift, where Swift was holding the football. Branch, the boundary side safety, they're going to move him around a lot against the Ravens, I think. I was explaining, like I said, to a Ravens content creator, and actually a second pairing of Ravens content creators, that like Branch is a guy who on one play will have an exquisite run fit and help stop the run at or near the line of scrimmage or even behind it. And then on the very next play, he could cover Zay Flowers. Do I mean Branch can shut down Zay Flowers? No, that's not what I'm saying. Zay Flowers is really having a great start to the season, particularly against man coverage. But Branch has the versatility, the wide range of skills to do a totally different job assignment from one snap to the next. And here I've given you 3 particular plays. They're not all from the same possession. I think it's a mixture of the third and fourth possession. This one stops the Bears drive. I think Detroit was already up 14-7. The point of this video is to get something out for you guys on Branch. I think at the end of the day, when a season ends or multiple seasons, and Brian Branch, Kyle Hamilton, Roquan Smith, Aiden Hutchinson, I'm talking about defensive guys in general, Marlon Humphrey, Kirby Joseph, those are the kinds of guys I want to have 6, 8, 10 different film study videos of, because I think they've all got consistent all-pro potential, or in the case of Hamilton and Branch, if they're able to play this well for a decade, then Hall of Fame potential to their career.